What's going on, Star Wars fans? Welcome to Star Wars Doctrine's podcast, the best podcast in all of the galaxy. Here we just discuss everything there is to talk about in the galaxy far, far away, and this week, that's quite a bit. So we're here to discuss the trailer that you've seen dropped and the panel of Episode 9. This week's going to be a little bit different. I have someone who I've talked about a little bit in past podcasts, but I got a good friend here who helps me do a lot of the stuff on the page. So we kind of work through everything together. And today, I actually got him here with me. We're going to be doing a little bit of discussion. So, yeah, go ahead and say hi.
Hello, boyo. Sorry, guys, just messing around, but, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to have this discussion here, and it's going to be a great time, and we have a lot to talk about, so.
We got Jar Jar Binks on set here. All right. But yeah, guys, if you haven't had a chance to check out the Star Wars Episode 9 teaser trailer that dropped just here a couple days ago, be sure to check that out before this, because obviously we're going to be talking all about it right here, so there's going to be a lot of spoilers, just a heads up. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We do lots of daily updates on Star Wars stuff. If you like Star Wars, then obviously we're the place to be, so make sure you subscribe and like this video as well, and yeah, let's get into it. So, talking about the Episode 9 trailer, there was probably, oh my goodness, so many twists and turns, lots of reactions, really fun to see.
Yeah, I don't know, it was just, I'm not going to lie, I was worried.
Yeah,
I mean, we both watched the panel, right? The Star Wars Celebration panel where it dropped. We were watching it, and I enjoyed the panel, and we'll get into more about the panel as we work through the video,
right,
talking about relevant parts of the panel, but I'm not going to lie, going into the trailer, were you a little nervous? Because I was kind of like, I don't know what they're going to do.
That was interesting, yeah, especially with how much time I think passed between when we thought we were really going to get a trailer. I mean, we were originally thinking we'd get it last year at the end of the year, right?
Right.
So yeah, I totally agree with that. I was nervous going into it, thinking that this got to live up to the hype because they made us wait so long, and even for the title reveal. So
right, exactly. I think we've generally worked with the title before, so it was definitely there's a lot of riding on this,
like before the
trailer drop.
Right, definitely.
So I guess we'll go ahead and get in with it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll start off. Trailer opening, as we see in the picture here, we have Rey on a desert planet,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not feeling that that's Tatooine, are you?
I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Looking at the desert planet, I got a lot of thoughts. But to me, I mean, like, let's talk about the ones that we've seen so far, desert planets. We have Tatooine,
right,
Jakku, and then one that I think is a little less talked about so far from what I've seen is Jeddah.
Okay.
Rogue One. And if you look at the mountainscapes, like the landscaping, to me it looks a lot like Jeddah, actually.
Makes sense.
It's, I don't know, definitely a possibility because we had the Kuiper Temple there, right? From Jeddah. So, I mean, obviously we don't know what happened after Rogue One to the planet after it got destroyed. So, or Jeddah City,
itself,
the temple itself, I guess, got destroyed. So maybe not. But anyways, I don't know. What do you think? Does it have more of a Jakku look or a Tatooine look?
I mean, in the shots we get, there's literally no civilization, so that gives me zero clue on Jakku versus. It really could be anywhere. I'm guessing I'm going to lead towards a new planet.
That's possible. Yeah, of course, that's the other option, right?
But I guess honestly, I want to talk about this first. Is the lightsaber hilt?
Oh yeah.
All right, end of Episode 8, obviously broken apart in that force pool, which is actually super cool scene in Episode 8, but. Obviously, it looks like Rey's repaired the lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's definitely the vibe I'm getting.
For sure. Well, it was interesting in the panel, actually. And, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the panel as well. They had the full, hour-long panel that led up to the debut of the trailer, which had a lot of good content. You can check it out on Star Wars' YouTube page if you haven't seen it yet. Definitely worth checking out because the cast's on there, lots of interview and questions and stuff. And, actually, Stephen Colbert hosted it, and he asked Rey, or Daisy Ridley, I should say, he said, is the lightsaber back or whatever, and she said, yeah, I can confirm that it is back, and obviously we got to see that in the trailer. So yeah, definitely the same lightsaber. Obviously it looks identical. There's just a couple of repairs that she's obviously done to it, so it's interesting. I guess
there's an updated clip. That's one of the things you can see, and then which mixed feelings about the updated clip.
It's
looks
interesting,
pretty childish, honestly, but I really like how it looks like she's fused the lightsaber together with some sort of some industrial duct tape. I have no idea what's going on here.
It's like a black ring around the crystal chamber, right?
Yeah, so it seems really cool. I like it. A little disappointed we didn't get to see Rey's lightsaber, like a new lightsaber for Rey.
Right.
But at the same point, I do hope she has one in the film. And
that's still a possibility, right?
Yeah, and did you get the vibe during the panel that they're gonna bring in a new lightsaber later in the film?
Yeah, I did actually. I agree with that 100%. Because and check it out, guys. It's definitely worth checking out. But Daisy Ridley kind of beat around the bush when she was asked about the lightsaber and what we're gonna see as far as that. She was kind of awkward about the question.
Definitely
right?
seemed like she was trying to hint that there's something else coming.
Yeah, but knew she couldn't say too much. Obviously, Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams are on stage right there, so they're all trying to be careful, which makes sense. But there was something weird that she didn't answer the question completely. So there's definitely potential. Yeah, I think we'll see something else, which is good, right?
Which is good, and when we see something else, hopefully, I'm glad that it's not in the trailer.
Yeah, no, that's
I do want to see that in theaters. That. Boom, hopefully a new color, reminiscent of when we go into episode 6 and Luke ignites his lightsaber and it's green. First time a green lightsaber has ever shown up.
On screen, right.
Right, so kind of hoping for a similar vibe here.
Yeah.
Also with Mace Windu. Surprise. Remember when Mace Windu? Do you remember seeing Mace Windu?
In Attack of the Clones, right?
When he turned on his lightsaber and it was purple. That was just legit.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Kind of hoping for a similar feel here.
That would be cool. I'm still pulling for yellow.
All right.
Well, I want to talk about real quick that clip. Do you remember like the little lightsabers we had when we were children?
Yeah.
It's literally what the clip on it looks like. I'll put an image up. You guys should be able to see it right now. There's literally, it's a clip like on her belt, like not like a Jedi one, not like the Republic, which is like a cover tech, where it's like the slides into the little button looking one, or the ones in like
the original where they use trilogy D-rings.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't look like either of those. It's literally like a
little slide clip.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe that's all she could round up. She probably didn't have a lot of.
Hopefully, this is like a
parts.
Last minute stitch together.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of lame, I think, but whatever.
And that's gonna kind of bring.
It'll sell toys, right?
Bring us into. I'll buy it. But that's kind of something I want to talk about. Is I want to look at some of this information real quick. So we have maybe a quickly put together lightsaber, right?
Okay.
Then we're showing this clip right now. We have a freaking TIE fighter?
Yeah.
coming to kill her. But I don't know about you. This does not look like being hunted down by the First Order to me at all.
Yeah, that's interesting. I the first vibe I got the first time I watched it, I was like, oh shoot, that's probably Kylo zooming in trying to kill her, right? But then I was like thinking about it more, and as we've talked, I think we're kind of more on the same page where why, if that's the case, if someone's trying to kill her in this, why are they not shooting at her?
Yeah.
Also, the TIE fighter design, that's not Kylo's original TIE, we decided, right? From
it's not his fighter, so it's likely not Kylo.
Right.
It is different. It's an updated version.
It's very cool looking.
Honestly, I'm a fan.
And the flip was just like, whoa, that was unexpected, right?
A legit move. So
yeah, that was legit Jedi move. I don't know. What do you think's going on, man?
So, kind of looking at these pictures, with, as you said, not shooting at her. And she's just kind of standing there waiting for it to happen. Kind of brings me to the fact no one's around, nothing's going on.
She's kind of in the middle of
nowhere. And with this picture we see the person who's piloting it, we get no real information on who's piloting it, which leads me to believe it's obviously not just like some trooper. So it's someone of significance, because we just see the hands.
You think they're leaving it out on purpose?
Exactly. So I'm kind of getting the vibe that it's a training exercise.
Yeah.
Right, I mean...
That's a good thought.
Just hold with me for a minute. Nowhere. Middle of nowhere.
Right.
We have a lightsaber that I'm going with she stitched back together because she needed a lightsaber.
Okay.
And hopefully going to create one for herself later.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of hers. And then a TIE fighter who's not trying to kill her.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm kind of getting the vibe that it may be a training exercise. And that would be kind of interesting to see her trying to continue her training by herself.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about that. That's actually a really cool theory on that. I like her going with that. Well, yeah, because that's a good point. She's in the middle of nowhere. It'd be kind of an odd place for them to just randomly meet up to decide to fight each other, right? If it was Kylo. I mean...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that just seems weird.
Well, and the black gloves originally gave me the thought that... Because they get that shot right there with the black gloves. It made me think that must be Kylo, because he's, always wearing the black gloves. But,
exactly. I get that.
But... like you said, doesn't seem like he's trying to kill her. So that's definitely throwing a plot twist in there.
And then kind of Desert Planet. Just last thing I'll make on this is, I'm hoping that they maybe go somewhere like Tatooine or Jeddah.
Oh, definitely.
For more information, either for maybe trying to visit Luke's old house. Maybe Luke has some text that we get to see Force Spirit Luke tell Rey to go to. Yeah. Or Force Luke tells her, hey, go check out Jeddah for a Kyber crystal for your own stuff. And while on Jeddah, they choose to train for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got Obi-Wan's hut on Tatooine as well, right?
That's true. And that could be a really unexplored territory.
Yeah, and I think, like, lots of stories about Luke going back to Obi-Wan's hut when he was learning to build his own lightsaber. So right, I don't know how much of that's canon.
A lot of comics. Canon comics go over that. Check those out. Love the canon comics these days.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job with them. And lots of stories. But no, it'd be interesting to see, like, Rey go back to Tatooine for some of that stuff. And obviously, if she's looking a lot more into history of Jedi and things like that, it totally makes sense to me.
That'd be kind of going with something Abrams has really proclaimed is that this is going to tie everything together, which, as we move into the trailer, I think he's definitely tying in all other 8 movies.
Yeah, definitely.
But maybe going back to Tatooine, a feature of literally every trilogy, except for this one.
So far, yeah.
Tatooine has not been featured in the sequels.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll pull it in somehow. Whether that's Tatooine right there, I don't know. I mean, it does kind of, like, when you think of, like, when Luke's out looking for this... for Obi-Wan, or R2, sorry, and he runs into Obi-Wan and the Tusken Raiders, kind of looks like those mountains. I mean, so it's definitely a possibility, and I think that they will visit Tatooine, at least at some point in the movie, just because you have to. I mean, it's wrapping up the Skywalker saga. That's where it all began, right? So
where it began's where it should end.
Yeah, there's nothing more iconic.
All right, moving into this. What is this?
So next shot you get on the trailer is... the shot of a ship flying into it's like a dark city looking thing. You got blue dark skies around, lots of city lights that this ship is flying towards.
Looks like it's probably elevated kind of in some mountains or cliffs.
Yeah. It gave me, the scene gave me a vibe also going back to Rogue One when they're flying into, what is it, Edu. It kind of had that look to it. I'm not saying
of the same thing. I don't think it's Edu, but same sort of vibe, same sort of
shot, yeah.
But okay, so coolest fan theory found has to be this ship, guys. I mean,
definitely.
I don't know if it's gonna be like this is Rey's mom and dad or whatever's going on, but just this shot is very reminiscent of the ship that drops Rey off in Episode 7. When we get some
flashback, right?
In the flashback scene we see with Rey being probably 7-ish years old.
Yeah, well, I mean, the back of the ships, the 2 jets, the wings coming out the side, they look identical.
There's like some center fuselage thing that's, I don't know, it looks very reminiscent of...
Right.
So I'm curious to see if it's the same ship. It'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
If maybe this
it's definitely the same style of ship. I mean, I would almost... I mean, it looks like it has to be. I'm not saying it necessarily is the same ship, but...
Lots of ships
definitely could be.
Yeah. And I don't know exactly what's going on here with this city. No information to go on here, but
yeah,
I'm excited. Hopefully it's a new planet. I love the introductions of new planets, adding more to the Star Wars universe, but also want to make sure they come back and visit some of the signature ones like Tatooine.
One thing I notice a lot, there's like, if you kind of zoom in there, you can see like 3 different spires or like steeples kind of at different points in the city.
Okay.
So I thought that was really interesting. Because, obviously that's been signs of lots of different things, but a lot of times temples, so whether this is like a Jedi temple again or something, like some sort of... I mean, it looks like... doesn't look like an abandoned city, though. That's the only thing, it looks very alive. There's lots of lights. So I don't think it's like an abandoned Jedi temple if it is a temple at all, but it's...
I'm curious,
it's definitely interesting.
And there's definitely some tiers going on, so I don't have a lot to go on for the actual city, but I'm excited.
Oh, definitely. That looks really cool.
All right. And then, all right. How many jokes can you make about Kylo breaking his helmet and sewing it back together?
Episode 8, yeah.
I mean, lots. But something we really want to touch on is it's definitely not Kylo.
Yeah, that was one thing that I overlooked the first time I saw it. So I just assumed, oh, hey, Kylo's fixing his helmet. But, after pausing and, dissecting everything, the hands are definitely not Kylo's hands, unless he grew, like, a lot of hair between episode 8 and episode 9.
Yeah, he was pretty bare in 8.
Yeah. yeah, we saw his chest. There wasn't any hair on that. So, it'd be weird if his hands did, but maybe that's why he wears gloves. He's embarrassed of his hairy hands.
It's possible.
Yeah, doesn't want Ray to see those. So. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting, because my first thought was like, oh, it looks like a Wookiee or something hairy. I'm not necessarily sure, but whoever's fixing Kylo's helmet in the shot is definitely not, I don't know, that's someone we've seen before.
I wonder if it's Kylo commissioned or if someone's doing it for Kylo.
Yeah. I'm
kind of under the impression someone might have found Kylo's broken helmet and done it for him.
Really? Yeah, that's a possibility. So where would have his broken helmet...
It was just left in the elevator, I think, is the last place we saw it.
Did he leave it in there? Okay.
So, it's a good question.
That ship gets blown to pieces.
So that's where does this come from?
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing to think about. One thing, too, that I always notice, and I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily call it a plot hole. I just always assumed Kylo had a bunch of helmets, but this makes me think he just had one. In episode 7 on Starkiller Base, he drops his helmet when he kills Han and walks out of Starkiller Base and actually leaves his helmet. And then when he fights Rey in the Force, he's not wearing his helmet. And then Starkiller Base blows up.
The entire planet.
Yeah, exactly.
Gone.
In episode 8, he's got his helmet again.
I'm sure Phasma picked it up for him.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, there wasn't a lot of time, but anyways, I don't know. It's just interesting.
Phasma got out of there, so
yeah,
maybe she grabbed
Phasma
the
got
helmet.
out of the garbage chute or whatever. Yeah, that's a good point. But I always assumed he had 2, but this makes me think, no, they're definitely repairing the one that he destroyed. So yeah, I don't know. That ship got blown to pieces, but somehow that helmet was recovered.
And then, I mean, it's definitely, I don't know, there's some red going on in here. I don't get what that is.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really cool looking. I gotta admit that.
I'm all for a broken helmet with random red.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Well, it looks more bad, It's like Sith looking. Let's say, what if he was using Kyber to create it? Kyber's a force sensitive crystal, right? So maybe having more Kyber in his helmet would be somehow make him more powerful. I don't know exactly how that works. We don't have a ton of canon information on that, but I don't know. It's red Kyber crystal, maybe. I don't know.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Something we have heard a lot about is we know that the main characters, particularly Finn, Rey, Poe, head out on an adventure of some sort together, which is really good. Something that the other movies have been lacking is the trio being together. Yeah,
and they talked about that in the panel a little bit, right? Colbert kept asking, so is the trio, are you guys going to be together on screen again more? And that was one thing they kept talking about. Yes, we're going to be on adventures together. Because I agree with that. That's one thing that 7 and 8 lacked a little bit. Having them together, seeing that friendship between all 3 of them.
Right. Definitely trying to build them. It seems like the new Han, Luke, Leia.
Right.
Or the Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme.
Right.
The 3 kind of main characters. And kind of lacking in this one.
Right, you got to have them together if you're going to... No, I agree. So this is cool.
So this is cool, definitely. Also something very important from the panel, I thought, as they talked more about John Boyega's character, or Finn, talking that he's really knows his place in this film, which... Yep. Personally, I'm super grateful for. I kind of found Finn super annoying.
Well, he's just so back and forth. I couldn't decide whether he fits in with the Resistance, whether he wants to run away. I thought they got that resolved in 7.
Exactly.
But then they didn't, right? Yeah, right. Then they didn't in 8, and he was trying to run away again. He really just cared about Rey, which is cool and all. It's just, yeah, I would have liked... It's good to have him figure out where he belongs, right?
Exactly. Especially for this capstone, I feel like everyone needs to know where they stand and who they are, and I'm glad that they brought that up.
Yeah. Well, him being willing to sacrifice himself for the Resistance probably gave him a really big sense of belonging, I would say.
Agreed.
So it's cool to see that in this
So it's cool to see, and now we have this awesome shot, actually.
Another desert shot.
Desert shot. If you guys look closely, Finn's carrying Rey's staff.
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely. I don't understand why, though.
Yeah, that's interesting. Done some side-by-side comparisons, and that's definitely Rey's staff, at least... yeah, I mean, there's pretty much no doubt about that. So, yeah, I don't know why Finn's carrying it, because the concept, or the artwork that JJ shared, when they wrapped, was all 3 of them hugging Rey, Poe, and Finn, and Rey was holding her staff in that picture.
Right.
So, apparently, whatever's going on in this, Poe's holding it for her, or maybe Poe's...
Finn.
Sorry. Yeah, Poe's not holding it, Finn's holding it. Yeah, so Finn's holding it for her, or else, I don't know, they look like they're watching something.
So there's a chance, I don't know, maybe they're watching her do the black flip.
Yeah, maybe they're watching that TIE fighter chase after her and
I don't think so, but...
Well, I mean, it looks like a very similar planet, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like a little spire thing that's kind of behind them, and actually, funny enough, gave me a really, like, Geonosis kind of look.
Kind of feeling that too, actually. There's another desert planet we forgot to mention earlier.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I guess that's possible, too. Geonosis, where the Clone Wars started, so
that'd be interesting to
That'd be an interesting place to go back to.
But yeah, we're excited to see the trio together, and we'll talk a little bit more later about that too. All right. How stoked were you when Kylo just took this guy down with his crossguard?
Yeah, that was like so it's the only shot we get of Kylo, right? In the trailer?
It's also the only time the crossguard was useful.
True. I mean, you see it stab Finn a little bit in episode 7.
That's true.
He does use it a little bit.
All right, I'll give you that.
But watching him take that guy down pretty much with the crossguard, showing his power off, like, oh my gosh, freaking bad A. And whatever, I don't know what this planet is, but it's like red. Another forest planet. Yeah, it's all red in the background, probably reflection of his lightsaber. I don't know.
All right, now, gotta ask. This is not a resistance trooper, is it?
I don't know. It's hard to make out because it's such a quick scene, but
it looks like he's carrying some sort of like handheld weapon.
Yeah.
Nothing we've ever seen a resistance trooper use.
You do see a stormtrooper there in the background. Looks like he's fighting alongside Kylo, though. But yeah, it's interesting. So I don't know who he's taking out, but definitely looks like, I don't know, it's a weird looking costume, that's for sure. Definitely different.
I'm kind of going with it's a third party, and I have no idea what that would mean.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Third party.
Guess
someone
maybe
we haven't seen before. Someone teamed up with the Resistance, you think? Or just someone trying to fight both of them?
I think my theory would be new planet, definitely.
That'd be cool.
Maybe.
That could be like an
but
Endor,
Kylo's going for somewhere. Kylo's heading to somewhere, and this could be indigenous population. It seems like Kylo's still looking for... Kylo's definitely seems like he's found his places wanting to be evil and abandoning some old traditions. Mm-hmm. He's not a Sith, but he definitely relies on the dark side, so maybe he's looking for something. Is he trying to find something that's of Darth Vader's that maybe someone's protecting, or some ancient Sith?
He's definitely going for something, right? He's not letting anything get in between them, too. I'm sure we're going to get quite a bit of battles throughout this movie.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of different battle scenes. I'm hoping.
There better be a lightsaber fight.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Or several. All right, and this little guy...
he's so cute.
He's so cute. Lots of less cute nicknames about him, but I think he's an adorable looking droid. And if you guys don't know, if you didn't watch the panel, which we're telling you, watch the panel.
Worth it.
His name is D.O.
Yeah.
Probably the shortest droid name I've ever heard of.
Well, I was expecting, when JJ said this is D.O., I was expecting like D.O. 77, a number after, but he's
D.O. 3PO, something right.
D.O.
Yes.
D-O is how it's written out, so... Interesting.
But
he's cute.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
But he's not R2.
He's very... Yeah, that's true. We didn't get to see an R2 appearance in the trailer, which is kind of disappointing.
R2's been lacking in the sequels.
Yeah, I agree. Even C-3PO was too, but he's like all over this trailer.
Yeah.
I guess, I shouldn't say all over it, but he was in a lot of the concept art leaks, and then he's in the trailer.
He's later on in the trailer
with
twice.
Poe. Is he in it twice?
Yeah, on the ship.
Okay.
So... I don't know. Cute little droid. We'll find out more later.
Hopefully we'll get R2, though, in there.
All right. Now, this scene, as a Star Wars fan, made me satisfied.
Yeah.
I think this shot... I was enjoying the trailer, but this shot. Lando and Chewie in the Falcon.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Chills.
Literal chills the entire time. Every time I watch it, I'm just so happy to see Lando back in the Falcon.
Well, yeah, and you get the back shot first from him where you can tell it's obviously Chewie and him, and they look like they're enjoying themselves, jumping to light speed. For all we know, this could be the first time that Lando's back in the Falcon, right? I mean, at least maybe the first time he's flying it himself, which had to have just been, like, incredible feeling. It could be the first time he's flown it since Episode 6.
Right.
I don't know. We don't really know what happened. Probably not the last time, but...
Can't imagine Han shared very much.
Yeah, probably not. Especially after he broke his satellite dish, right?
Yeah.
In the
Don't let him fly it anymore.
Definitely.
But I don't know, just seeing that I felt was the very correct move, and something I hope that maybe this movie ends on with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see Lando and Chewie
be the owners of
the Falcon. I think that's
co-pilot
fair.
the Falcon together at the end.
Really commemorate Han, I think.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because it's fun seeing Rey fly it, but in the end, it's like it's an old classic ship, and I think it's Chewie's, and I think Lando would be fitting as well to kind of be there as well.
It deserves to be with, I think, the classics.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's what I'm getting at. And seeing him like smiling in that second shot they give you, the front shot, it's just reminded me of like episode 6 where after they get the Death Star and he's just like yeehaw or whatever, he's like screaming at the top of his lungs,
he's so excited.
That's exactly what it looks like. He's smiling, looking like he's just having time of life. Let's talk about Billy D. Williams at the panel.
First of all, Billy D. Williams, love the man. Oh, he's so great. I love how much he's been involved with Lando
from day one.
I mean,
well, he's really just embodied that character, right? Like he's always talked about how happy he is to be Lando, to be in the Star Wars universe. So
exactly. I mean, when asked about, okay, this is his first time reprising Lando in, oh gosh, I can't do the math fast enough, but
40 years, something crazy, whatever.
Probably about 30 years, yeah. I think so. First time, how does it feel coming back to Lando, right?
Yeah.
And his response was, Lando never left him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I teared up, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was
emotional.
That was an emotional part.
Well, and he not only does he say it like, he is Lando. Like, the way he says it, you like are picturing Lando saying it. It's not just like he's an actor. It's like he is Lando. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but he just embodies the role. Like him as a person. He's a charming guy. He's just smooth.
Yeah,
he's everything Lando is.
If you guys know anything about Billy D. Williams, I mean, he's a singing legend. He's a great actor. I mean, he's honestly, Lando is him. I don't think he acts to be Lando.
Right,
so.
Right. He's just being himself.
And
like,
I
that's
love
what it feels like.
He talked about in Celebration how every time he talks about Lando, how he slips into speaking in the first person, saying that, like, awesome. His buddy is actually Han, like they're the same person, that he is Lando.
He just feels like he's Lando. It's like not even like an acting role for him.
Which is a cool thing if you guys know that Lando actually, from episode 5 on, anything that Lando does, that a Lando Calrissian character makes an appearance, it is actually Billy D. Williams who's doing it. So in video games, it's always him.
Always his voice.
And I just think that's super cool how much he really is Lando.
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, it's hard to find that sometimes, in acting these days. Just someone who's really going to embody that role. Like Mark Hamill's another good example of someone who does that. But yeah, just seeing Billy D, it makes me go, why didn't we get him back in like episode 7 to begin with? Like he should have been in all of these. Give me a break. But anyways, just glad he's back for episode 9. It's going to be very, very special.
And then, okay, we got this. I don't know what this is.
So next scene rolling in. We got back to another sand planet. Maybe the same one. Looks like the same one to me. And there's this little like ship chase.
I don't know.
So we got a chase going on. There's a big ship leading the way, which we eventually find out Poe is on with
C-3PO and
Finn. And then we got these guys chasing behind them.
Yeah, so what are these guys? Is this going to be the first jetpack trooper appearance on film?
That'd be really cool. Yeah, because we've only seen jetpack wise, we've only seen Jango and Boba, right? Sure. We haven't really seen they're in video games, they're in cartoons, we get jetpack troopers all the time, but we haven't seen them on screen, and that's kind of what this looks like to me. Looks like they're on jetpacks.
Yeah, I first honestly thought it was some sort of speeder, but looking at it, I just don't see where the speeder is, so I'm going to go with this is the first jetpack trooper.
I think so.
Pretty excited.
Cool. You do have a smaller ship at the bottom chasing him as well, which is
likely
interesting.
Not them. Moving into this, just quick talk about this real quick, because I have no idea what the heck this ship is. It looks like a space battle, which would be cool. I don't think... Yeah, we haven't had a real space battle, have we?
Yeah, I mean, I think the closest you got was episode 8.
Episode 8, that.
There's the opening scene of the space battle in episode 8 with the bombing and everything. So there's that.
So there's that, and then 7 we kind of have the attack on Starkiller Base.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call that a space battle. That's not like an episode 3 kind of space battle.
And that's what I'm getting right here is an episode 3 level space battle.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Call me crazy, but this ship in the background, I tried to get the best shot I could, guys. But I swear, it is the Republic era Star Cruiser.
That's kind of what it looks like.
I mean, it's red right there.
Yeah, it totally looks like a clone ship to me. It was like the first time until you got that screenshot, I was thinking it just was I was thinking, oh, this must be Jakku because it looks like an old abandoned crashed Imperial ship, but it like now that you're pointing that out, like it looks totally not like an Imperial ship. It looks like a Clone Wars ship, you know.
I mean, we have the back. It's definitely Star Destroyer-esque. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Maybe it is some Clone Wars era stuff. That would be cool. I would like it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, that'd be another perfect way for him to tie in all the trilogies and everything like that. So that'd be interesting.
And then this shot, it's got to be Leia, right?
Yeah. So we got Leia, or somebody, I should say. Can't confirm that it's Leia, holding onto one of the medals. Looks exactly like one of the medals from Episode 4, A New Hope, when Leia gives Han and Luke their medals. Obviously, we know through comics, guys, that Chewie did receive a medal as well. They kind of went into like it wasn't his culture to get awarded things in front of crowds. It was like a humility thing. So that's a canon answer for like why he doesn't have a medal presented to him in front of everyone, but he does get one. So talking about like whose medal that could be, we know that Chewie in the comics ends up giving his away to a kid that he saves as like to remember him by kind of thing.
So it's not Chewie's.
So probably not Chewie's.
I'm thinking it's probably Han's.
Yeah.
I really feel like it's Leia's hands. I mean, I don't know.
It looks like an older person's hands.
I agree. So I think it'd be nice. And that's something I really want to see is maybe Leia kind of reminiscing Han. And I think there's likely a good chance for that scene as most of the footage will be Leia from Episode 7.
Right.
So something I'm really proud of for JJ is not letting anyone replace Carrie. I mean, no one can replace Carrie Fisher. I mean,
well, and they talked about that on the panel too, and it was pretty emotional. I think JJ was talking about how he's like, no one can replace Carrie. There's no way I mean, CGI wouldn't even do her justice. Like, it's not an option. Never was. It wasn't ever an option to replace her, which there's tons of rumors that they're going to recast Leia.
Ridiculous.
Which, yeah, and I'm so glad they didn't. Because you end up getting shots like our next one, right? So
beautiful shot.
Yeah, you get Rey hugging Leia in the next shot in the trailer, which probably had to have been filmed, for Episode 7 then? Or
yeah, so that's 5 years ago, and it's just a beautiful shot, and I'm excited to see Carrie one last time.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, though, too, because Rey's costume, though, when she's hugging Leia, looks a lot like the costume this new costume.
I'm so confused. You're correct.
Right? That's interesting. I mean, I guess there's lots of editing that they could do, so they might have been able to
probably
edit the
some
costume onto
stuff
her. But it looks, I mean,
we'll have to see.
Really good.
Next thing. Looks like this is the maybe culmination of the group. We got Chewbacca, BB-8, D-O, C-3PO, Rey, Poe, and Finn.
All in one shot.
Got the gang together.
I know, that's awesome.
Except for R2.
Still no R2, yeah. This is like towards the end of the trailer. To me, this feels like it's almost towards the end of the movie as well. I mean, I could be wrong. That's just speculation because they're all together and obviously getting towards something big. So
I mean, something I'll note. Poe is hurt. Look at his armor. I have this nice zoomed up picture. His arm's in some sort of wrap. In the earlier shot, we'll show he was fine. There was nothing on his arm, so he's definitely some kind of wound. So likely takes place after that desert scene. So
maybe he got injured on that desert scene.
Yeah, probably watching freaking Rey do a backflip.
That's gonna be stressful on one.
But so excited to see the group all together, and honestly, way more excited with what
comes next.
What comes next?
So we get the pan out, get to the back shot for the same same place that they're at. You get the back shot, and you can see big ocean or pool of water, and what I thought at first was just a bunch of rubble or even a mountain or something, but obviously as we dive more into it, realized, hey,
it's the Death Star.
It's the Death Star.
Definitely is, and we're excited to talk about that. But I want to talk about Rey real quick before we jump into that. Is that cool?
Yeah, no, absolutely. What's going on?
All right, so first, Rey's costume. I really like how they've kind of kept thematic with her and her outfit.
Right.
It's good and very identifying. But I love the white. Very symbolic of Jedi's. Has been white in previous lore. I don't really think it's canon anymore, but previous
more
lore.
Old Republic stuff, right?
Old Republic was very much white, was symbolic of pure
of
Jedi. But she's got a Jedi hood.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, every Jedi needs a hood.
Props to you for noticing that, because I went right over my head, because that's really cool.
And, I mean, I always wanted a hood as a Jedi. I mean, so you have to have a Jedi hood.
Yeah, no, definitely. You can't be a Jedi without a hood, right?
I think it's a rule. Like, you could not have a lightsaber, but you could have a hood, and you're a Jedi.
Well, that was why Anakin wasn't granted the rank of Master. He didn't understand the importance of his hood.
Exactly. But she's also carrying a bag, and I'm guessing that's of significance for whatever they're accomplishing at the Death Star.
Probably. Or it's her diaper bag, because her and Kylo probably have a child. I'm just kidding.
All right. No Reylo crap. Maybe Reylo. We'll find out. All right, but something with the bag, and actually, I do think there's a good chance it could be like some scuba diving gear, because this is a body of water.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, we'll break into the Episode 7 theory, underwater Death Star theory.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, so if you're fortunate enough to grab the visual guidebook of Episode 7, you would know that J.J. Abrams has always been thinking about the underwater Death Star with what happened to the Death Star. And in the writings that came out, obviously Death Star never appeared in Episode 7, but there was some writings that came out as like his thoughts. And in those thoughts that about this Death Star, it was the Death Star 2, so the one that happens over the forest moon of Endor, and it does crash land on Endor. I don't think it really specified if it was the forest moon of Endor, but I think we're going to assume that that's likely what it is.
Yeah.
And it crashes, and it actually ends up submerging and being completely engulfed in water. Originally in The Force Awakens, it's all underwater.
Right. This is all just concept for some of JJ's ideas, right? Before
exactly. So this is all just concept.
Put it to script.
And some really cool things is they actually had the Falcon going underwater up to the Death Star. So that was kind of an interesting shot. And then they had Rey exploring the outside of the Death Star. So I don't know exactly what that means, but that's obviously something that JJ has been thinking about, was this concept of what happened with the Death Star.
Yeah. I think some of the idea too with it, I think he originally thought like, so R2 in Episode 7, the reason he has the map is because he's been inside of the Death Star's systems before and downloaded all the data from the Death Star, so he had the information of where that Jedi temple was that Luke was located at. So I think the idea with them exploring the Death Star was trying to find that map, wasn't it? Like that was JJ's idea. He's originally going to have Rey find it underwater under the Death Star to find the map to Luke, or
I believe that was like the main theory.
Something on that. So.
But it's actually kind of cool. The concept actually had the original name for Rey, which was Kiara.
Kiara.
So I mean, kind of fun there.
Right.
But yeah, so it's the Death Star, right?
Yeah, it's definitely the Death Star.
All right.
I'm seeing people talk about it. I'm like, okay, at first it went over my head, but the more you will look at it, like, it's definitely the Death Star. There's no way it's not. Like, you can zoom in all you want. That's definitely the laser panel of the Death Star.
Yeah, and it's broken to hell.
Yeah.
It's the Death Star.
I mean, this is something that I never, ever would have thought in my wildest dreams to be seeing in the Episode 9 trailer. Like, Death Star. Was that any thought of yours?
No.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy.
Oh, yeah.
I think it kind of adds the idea of like, okay, just because something happened or blew up doesn't mean there's not wreckage. Doesn't mean it can't be significant later. And I'm very pleased with the trailer and showing there's a chance to tie everything back in.
Yeah.
And it's looking good. And speaking of tying in, and if you have any questions that it is the Death Star, let me read you something that Luke says, who's narrating the entire thing, is he says, "No one is ever really gone." And then Palpatine laughs.
Definitely the most shocking part of the trailer, right?
Oh my gosh. I freaked out. I think I literally yelled in the middle of my class.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was unreal.
Oh, definitely. Let's say, you guys know on this podcast, I've been saying for weeks now that I would put all my chips down, if I was a betting man, that Palpatine will somehow make an appearance. Now, I did not by any means expect for him to make a
trailer appearance.
Exactly. I mean, that's just beyond ridiculous. Like the fact that they put one of his laughs in there. Like, are you kidding me? It confirms it. He's definitely in it, and JJ since said some stuff on it, so we know he's gonna make an appearance somehow. And you got fan theories flying off the wall like crazy.
Oh my gosh! There's going back to the clones of old, where Palpatine was a clone in the original scripts for 7, 8, and 9, written 40 years ago. You got
him cheating death, coming back alive.
Yeah, I don't buy that one. I don't even know which one I buy. I'm pretty sure they're all wrong.
That's probably true. It's just like all of our guesses for the title, right? Like, We had an entire podcast dedicated to that, and there's a lot of great titles. And some of you guys got really close on it, but
Yeah, I was impressed with how close some of you got. I was very impressed.
Definitely, but
I was super wrong.
In the end, no one ever completely got it. So I think that's probably how it'll be with the Palpatine thing.
Right.
What do you think?
Do
you have any wild fan theories that you come to your head, or ones you've seen, ones you...
I don't know. I mean, there's so much I want. There's so many things. Okay, I really hope there's no cloning thing.
Yeah.
I just don't like that personally.
Is Rey a Palpatine?
Oh. Did Palpatine create Rey too? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something you could think about. The possibility to create life. Maybe Rey was another Anakin type of person.
That'd be interesting. Something that I've been kind of toying with or thinking about is, well, so many things. But there's the obvious chance that Palpatine will make an appearance through one of his droids. If you guys played Battlefront 2, which has a canonized storyline, the Emperor had a failsafe where basically a red guard-ish looking droid
had his face on
it and gave directions on what the Empire should do that eventually led to the creation of the First Order.
Right. If he ever died, right?
If he died. So it was a failsafe plan.
Contingency plan kind of thing.
So...
Pretty cool.
It was really cool. Really love the storyline of that. So I think there's a chance that we could see something like that. Another part of me is I think there's a good chance that he was able to preserve his life in holocron form, or imbuing his force with some sort of... I don't think he's a spirit, because we've talked about that Force ghosts are only able to be light side heroes, or only able to be light side people.
Right. Well, that's at least what George said and George wanted, right?
That's current canon. Canon's open to change, though.
That's true. I agree with that. I like the holocron thing, and I've been saying that for weeks as well on the podcast. I think Palpatine in holocron form, in old message form, in flashbacks would be awesome. I'm not sure, I don't necessarily think I want him to have survived, although, there's been crazier things happen. Darth Maul survived getting chopped in half, so falling down that shaft on Naboo, so... It's definitely possible, but for me, I'm so excited that he's going to be in it. I don't necessarily know that I want him to,
be, alive?
Yeah, I don't know how much I'd fancy that. Obviously, I'll go with it. I'm going to be excited just to see him on screen.
Yeah. Oh, the Emperor, he's
iconic.
Yeah, he was 1 through 6.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the consistent characters. Well, talk about what happened to the panel. So there's another thing I've been seeing people talk about too. They're like, was that Palpatine's laugh or was it something else? It was definitely Palpatine's laugh. And if you watch the panel, once again,
watch
the panel. If you guys, they played the trailer, and right when it ended, so there was no one on stage when they played the trailer. Right when it ended, the lights came back on, and the actor of Palpatine, Ian, is literally standing in the middle of the stage with a microphone, and all you hear is he just looks at the crowd and he says, "Roll it again," in the Palpatine voice. Goes full Palpatine, says, "Roll it again," and the lights shut off, and they play the trailer again, and then when the lights come back on, he's gone.
So he's there. That
confirms it.
It's confirmed. It was definitely Palpatine.
It's his laugh. You could tell just by the laugh itself.
Exactly.
And the fact that Luke said no one's
really gone. There's just too many signs. It took place right after the Death Star scene.
Yeah.
But something I've kind of would be interested in, kind of hoping for, Palpatine, who is he? He's the master of pulling strings.
That's true.
Everything is always how he wants it to happen.
Everything according to his design.
Except for the whole being thrown off the edge thing. Probably wasn't his design. Maybe it was.
Anything's possible at this point.
Yeah. But I kind of like the idea that if he's really gone, totally fine. If he was able to do some sort of holocron thing, that he was manipulating Snoke.
That'd be really cool.
Because... lots of questions about Snoke's death. Not going to touch them. But the idea that Palpatine is really the main bad guy still. I would be really kind of for that.
Even if it's while he's dead.
Yeah. Pulling the strings beyond the grave.
Right.
Engineering. I don't know. That seems something that I would attribute worthy of Palpatine.
Yeah.
And would be kind of fun and add an interesting realm of what's going on.
What if he's... we know how powerful he is, right? So what if he did find a way to become a dark side Force ghost? What would you think about that?
Part of me would want to hang on to that's not how it's supposed to be. Yeah. But, I'm open to change as long as it's explained well, and I think it will be. It will be interesting to see him on screen to some extent.
Right.
And if he's been manipulating things as a Force ghost, I would be excited to see that too.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, yeah, at this point, like, I'm just excited that Ian's gonna be reprising his role as Palpatine in some way, shape, or form, right? I'm not gonna be too picky at this point. Like, JJ tying all these together, that is a wonderful way to do it, and it's a way that is like beyond what I was hoping for, or I should say, I was definitely hoping for it, but beyond what I actually expected to be pulled off. Like, the trailer was nostalgic. It was this trailer was everything like I could be hoping for in the trailer. Like, it did not disappoint, and I was really worried it would after how long we had to wait, right? So
exactly, and kind of like I said, seeing Lando made me happy. I felt proud.
Yeah.
Hearing Palpatine's laugh made me excited.
Oh, definitely.
So,
it's like a spark of hope in the fandom right now is what I feel like. Like, looking at all the posts, you've had so much negativity, for so long, and now it kind of feels like there's like a spark of hope in the fandom, right?
Yeah,
like,
and
it feels different right now.
It feels different,
there's
and I'm
energy,
excited.
There's hype.
I think everyone's excited, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of previous feelings, I think everyone's excited. And the title, I think, might have something to do with that, The Rise of Skywalker. What does that mean?
That beats me so much. That was like the least thing I expected was Skywalker to be in the title. Like, I didn't see that coming.
I mean, you have to talk about the fact that it's the rise of, we're talking about, you noticed it, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. We were running with the theme of R's, which is
for
nice.
All of the third ones in each trilogy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know that JJ necessarily did that on purpose, but maybe.
I would guess, yeah.
You think so?
No.
I mean, it's pretty cool, They're all kind of hopeful. Well, I guess Revenge isn't very hopeful.
Revenge of the Sith is kind of messed up.
Never mind. I'm gonna retract what I just said there. Let's talk about some of the similarities, though, like, in the trailer itself, because, like, first off, having Luke narrate it was really cool.
Reminiscent of 7.
Right, and I didn't expect...
And 8, I guess.
Is Luke... I'm trying to remember the original trailer for 8. Do you hear Luke's voice?
No, it's more talking. This one has no talking, right?
Well, Luke's talks in it, but it's not like him narrating
exactly,
it. Because he's talking about it's time for the Jedi to end or whatever.
Right. Where this one was more narration,
like
just narrating. Like Episode 7.
Right. Which is interesting because, like, first off, I didn't expect Mark to be in the trailer. I didn't expect his voice to be in it. I didn't expect anything to do with Luke in this trailer, just because I feel like they were going to hold that in their pocket as, like...
As like Hamill's in it, but to what extent?
Right, and to kind of keep us on the edge with that.
Okay.
But then again, in Episode 7, he narrated the trailer and wasn't even in the movie.
Don't get me started on that.
I mean, at the very end of the movie, he's there, but that doesn't really count, right?
Yeah.
And then the other kind of similarity was they opened with the heavy breathing, right? Which they've done in all 3 of the trailers.
Right.
So I guess it's just the thing for this is heavy breathing. Someone needs an inhaler.
Yeah.
It's like an asthma thing.
We need this. This is a serious asthma epidemic, guys.
Well, at this point, since they did it with the first trailer and the second trailer, like Episode 7 and 8,
had to.
You might as well do it with 9. I like that there's like a similarity there.
Exactly. And, I feel like I've been... Okay, The Force Awakens, I wasn't really surprised, honestly, like what that meant.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi, kind of interesting, but not too...
Right, there's lots of speculation. Like,
lots of speculation.
What's it about, but whatever. Like it, yeah.
But The Rise of Skywalker, I really like it. I don't know.
It's probably the most mysterious title so far.
Which seems so strange, because it seems so straightforward.
It does, but it's like, with the state of the Skywalkers, like, they're all... Technically, is there anyone with the last name of Skywalker that we know of right now that's alive?
Well,
no.
We know,
Ben
goes as Solo.
Ben Solo's a Skywalker.
Leia's not going Skywalker.
Right, he's going by Organa. So, there's not really anyone alive.
Mara Jade.
Oh, man. I would love it to be... Somehow Mara Jade to be in there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Kerry Russell's character doesn't make an appearance in the trailer.
This is true. I saw that.
Point. Codenamed Mara, guys, as we've talked about before, doesn't necessarily mean she'll be named Mara in the movie.
Please.
But we could cross our fingers, right?
I'm praying every day.
But I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, but that would be really cool. But like, yeah, I mean, what do you think? What was your first thought when you saw The Rise of Skywalker? Who did you think of?
I think my first thought was, what the hell?
That's a fair first thought.
But beyond that, I don't know. I mean, the first thing you got to go back to the Rise of Skywalker, right? That's like, you have to think that.
Right.
I don't know if I do, though.
Yeah.
Or then you got to be like, okay, so Ben's coming back. But then you're like, but it's Ben Solo. But he's of Skywalker blood, so I mean, that's fair. But
yeah.
Or Luke's alive or something. I didn't know what to think, and I still don't. I mean, I think it's kind of more symbolic of the Skywalker family's gonna do the right thing.
You think so? So, like, that you leaning towards, like, redemption, some Kylo Ren redemption, or...
I don't know. I do think there's some chance for Kylo to do, at the end of the day, for Kylo to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Not for redemption, but to do the right thing.
Okay. That's fair. My thought was, like... My first thought went to Anakin, because I've been praying that Hayden Christensen will make an appearance in this film. We know it's been talked about. Yeah, that's a fair point.
His body was burned on Endor.
Oh, wait a minute.
That works both ways.
Point. Yeah, if we're back on Endor again. Yeah, that's cool.
We'll talk about that in the next video.
Yeah, for sure. Get some theories going. But no, I originally thought of Anakin and just how he's been the main character of the first 6 films, basically. I mean, him and Luke. But then I started thinking about, like, I don't know, like, well, I'll just say, like, I know me and you feel a lot of the same ways on The Last Jedi with feeling like we wanted more Luke. So maybe this film's going to give us more Luke. Because one thing I've been thinking a lot about, The Rise of Skywalker, perhaps, although he's in the netherworlds of the Force, maybe he's discovering, like, how to become even more powerful as a Force ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a thought. Maybe The Rise of Skywalker is talking about Luke.
I guess question then with that. Would you be fine if, at the end of this movie, there's always, like, one crucial, like, pivotal saving the day moment, right? There has to be one of those, basically. Would you be fine if Luke saves the day?
Absolutely.
All right.
I think that'd be really cool. Somehow, as a Force ghost, finds a way to save the day. It'd be really cool. It'd be interesting to see how they could pull it off. But I would lean towards it talking about Luke. I think that'd be really cool.
All right, I like it. Well, I mean, we took up probably way too much of your guys' time, but I had a great time talking about the trailer, and I'm excited. There's so much more to come. There's going to be way too many fan theories. We're all going to be wrong.
But that's part of the fun of it, right?
We all know we're excited for the next 8 months of pure speculation.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure we'll be doing it. If you guys have stuck with us this long for the entire video, thank you so much. And just ask that, if you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video. It really helps us out a lot. We really appreciate it. Had a good time talking about Star Wars with you guys. Hope that you guys have a great week. We'll try and catch you next week. And check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And may the Force be with you as always.
Yes.
Don't forget to like and subscribe because...